Nick Hart from Backstreet Boys.
Shout out to Boy Band Break.
It's Chris Kirkpatrick here. Shout out to your podcast, Boy Band Break.
Everybody, this is Howie D, and I'm listening to Boy Band Break.
Hi, Ashley Parker Angel here. Huge shout out to the Boy Band Break podcast.
This is Brad from LFO, and you are listening to Boy Band Break.
Hey, what's up? This is Jacob.
What's up? It's Dan.
What's up? It's Trevor.
And it's Eric Michael, and it's time for Boy Band Break, baby. Let's go! Bam, 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 bam.
Welcome back to Boy Band Break. We encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, I'm Cinzia.
I'm Sofia, and welcome back. We haven't done one in a while.
Yes, sorry, we've been busy. May is a busy month. There's a lot of things that go on during this month. Basically, everybody in my family has a birthday, and it's just a bunch of shenanigans and stuff. And then some people died, other things that obviously doesn't normally happen every year, but you know. And then I stayed up for about approximately 36 hours because a Krispy Kreme donut place opened up in my town. So obviously if you're American, Krispy Kreme is everywhere, I guess, but in Canada it's not. So what ended up happening, so they had opened a few years ago, but then they shut most of them down except for like Mississauga, I think.
Well, if you must know, they have added one in Toronto on the Danforth now. So that is very exciting.
Did it already open or no?
I believe it already opened.
Oh, so you didn't camp out to get a golden ticket. So those who know me know that I'm a little nuts and I really enjoy camping out for free shit. So like when the one Taco Bell opened up, that one, it was not that. Lydia and I went maybe like 4 or 5 hours early. It was the first 50 people in line. We're going to get a free Taco Bell for a year. So it was like a combo a week for a year. So you got 52 of them. Which ended up being fun. I also dressed up as a taco. I had a costume because, of course, I just randomly had a taco costume because, you know, whatever. That was fun. But also, there's a Taco Bell like a block away from my house, and these could only be used at the new place. So we really didn't get the full advantage of these. I felt like they let us like use like a few in a month and stuff, but we got a pretty good deal. Like the last day when they were expiring, they let us take like a lot of combos. So anyways, I also got free pizza for a year, once a month from Topper's Pizza. So that was fun. That one I didn't have to camp out for. I just had to buy a raffle ticket and put it in. And they were giving away a bunch. And because they did not advertise it enough, there was not a lot of people there. And basically me and my friend and Lydia all won free pizza for a year. So that was good.
Awesome.
So then for this one, this Krispy Kreme is opening, and it's been opening for like, they've been wanting to do it for years. And this was before all the anti-American shit was going down. So people were very excited, and now it finally is opening, and now people are like, screw America, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, the first 12 people get free donuts for a year. Sign me the fuck up. Especially even though it was a weekday and I had to go to work, and I was just like, what time does it open? And they're like, oh, it opens at 7 a.m. I was like, perfect. I don't have to be at work till 8:30. So my friend Sammy is currently unemployed. So she's like, oh yeah, let's camp out for these donuts. And I was like, okay. Krispy Kreme either way. I'm like, I don't eat a lot of donuts, and it's not really, but I just figured, free, cool. So anyways, so we went to go camp out, and she's like, okay, maybe like midnight or something we'll go because it opens at 7. It's like, okay. So then I was like watching one of these Facebook pages, and they're like, people are already camped out at 1:30 p.m. And I was like, 1:30 p.m. It doesn't open until 7 a.m. tomorrow. Like, what the hell? So I'm like, well, I'm not. So I was slightly stressed. So I said to Sammy, I'm like, listen, don't bother coming because she lives about half an hour away. I was like, I'll go check it out after work. If there's still space, we're good. If not, whatever. So I threw 2 lawn chairs in my car, took my mom with me. Let's go check it out. And there was already a line. So I said to the guy, I'm like, oh, are they to reach the 12? And he's like, no, I'm only number 5. So we were like 6 and 7 in line. So my mom sat there until Sammy could come. And then we had to like sign in and stuff. So from 5:30 p.m. until 7 a.m. is how long we camped out for these fucking donuts. I don't know where I'm swearing. Anyway, so then we ended up like meeting some people.
You swear when you're excited, yeah.
I just really enjoyed. And then I was like, ooh, because like I know a lot of people are very anti-America right now, but also people are pro-free stuff. But then there's also people driving by, you're all fat asses, and like things like that. Like people are ridiculous.
Gosh.
you're all homeless people. None of the people in line were homeless. In fact, it was a very interesting mix. So the very first person in line was a guy named Dale, and he was retired, and he told his family he was going to do this, and they all said, "You're nuts." And he's like, "Oh, I'm getting my chair and going." And then there was like two college age friends. There was a couple of older guys. There was me and Sammy, who are like in our like 40s, early 40s. And then there's like a couple of other guys and a bunch of high school kids. So there was like 12. There was 12 of us in total. Actually, there was 13 of us because the last group came with 3 of them. But they're like, you're only going to get 12. So the other guy's like, oh, I'm just staying for the vibes. So he ended up staying overnight as well. And then in the morning, they ended up actually giving him a golden ticket too. So once we got in,
I was going to say, oh my gosh, dude.
I was just like, oh, what the? So yeah, but I would say the last people showed up around 10:30, 11-ish for the next morning. So some people came around midnight and were like, sorry, they've already given out to 12. So they just left and came back. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. So we got a free donut as we walked in. We got a hat, a keychain, the golden ticket, obviously, which is only for plain donuts. It's not the fancy donuts. It's just the plain ones. But I'm like, whatever. And then I said to the guy, I'm like, so can I use this to get like my donuts today? He's like, oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Cause I'm thinking, I don't want to pay for donuts today. Like I'll just use. So he comes back and he's like, no, you can't. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, because you're getting 2 dozen free donuts. And we're like, okay. So we got like 24 donuts. So I just picked like the random ones and stuff.
Amazing.
And then he's like, do you want anything to drink? And I was like, again, I didn't want to pay for anything. So I'm like, no, that's fine. So then Sammy went, she's like, oh, how much is the drink? Like it's included. I was like, son of a bitch. I could have got a free drink, but I also don't drink coffee. And it was like 7 a.m. and there was a lot of slushy drinks. And I was like, so then basically it was also my mom's birthday. So basically I drove home, dropped off these donuts, showered, and went straight to work. And let me tell you, it was a bit of a zombie because I was under the impression I was going to sleep a little bit overnight in those chairs, but we did not because Sammy brought an iPad and Nintendo Switch. So we were playing like video games and watching movies in the middle of the night. So
makes sense.
Yes, it was interesting, but yeah, no, it was a fun night. I enjoyed that. So, and then yesterday, a random pizza place was opening and giving away 500 free pizzas. So we're like, all right. So we got free pizza too. So,
well, remember when it was Canada Day long weekend?
Oh, the Mandarin
in Mississauga. We lined up for hours for free Mandarin.
That was awful.
And I feel like I was like, never again. so this is why I did not go in line for free stuff, because I think we all got sunburned at that time as well.
And I was like, dehydrated. It was horrible. So basically what had happened is that we've had that free Mandarin in Hamilton before. And because, again, I live like 2 blocks away, we like went by, whatever, saw that there was line, got our chairs. We were within the first however many people, got in when it opened at noon, got our free Mandarin. And I did this like 2 or 3 times because they don't do it every year, but they do it every once in a while. When we did the Mississauga one, I'm like, I think we should go early. And then obviously our friend was like, no, we don't need to go early, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, so by the time we got there, the line was past the Mandarin, through the parking lot, all around, like it was a gigantic ass line. And they were not keeping it at full capacity. They only had them like half open. So it was taking forever. How many hours? 6 hours maybe we were in line?
We were literally there for like 8 hours. It felt like
in the middle of the day. So it was hot. We were tired. We were not prepared. We did not have chairs. We didn't have any of this other shit. We were dehydrated. We just like, okay, maybe we should give up. We're like, no, the line's moving. We're much closer now.
Yeah, like we were at the front and we're gonna give up now after spending like 5 hours in the line already. I like might as well stay here.
By the time we actually made it in, we were just so like exhausted and not hungry, and we're just like,
and then I was like, should we even eat? Like, what are we doing?
When you're so overly hungry that you're no longer hungry, it's like your stomach is eating itself. I don't know. So we were just like, ugh. So we like shoved some, and we're like, oh, air conditioning, and it was just like,
yeah. And then we're like, lots of water. Send all the water to our table.
Yeah, we're just like chugging all the water. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we went like 3 rounds there. We went up a lot because we're like, we waited in the line for so long. Might as well.
We just wasted our day waiting in this line. Whereas if we would have been dropped off earlier in the day and our friend would go back to sleep, then we could have at least been closer in line. But live and learn. People don't believe that people like to camp out for free shit. And the Mandarin one is interesting too, because you had to be a Canadian citizen. So you had to show like your passport or like birth certificate or something. And we thought that they wouldn't do that. But when we did it in Hamilton, my friend's dad came, and he's from England and never really got his Canadian citizenship. And they actually made him pay. So.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting. But they don't do it every year. But yeah, so anyway, so that has literally nothing to do with today's episode. And today's episode was kind of a surprise, I would say. Well, not a surprise, but months ago, when we were talking about no boy bands doing shit and releasing albums, all these boy bands alleged that they were going to release these albums. And we're like, who's going to release it first? 98 Degrees, AJ, or Nick Carter?
So we were thinking Nick usually is pretty good about following through with his album.
He is.
But because this one took a little bit longer, we were like, oh, I don't know. But then we were like, well, he will definitely have his out before AJ's.
Yes. So what's interesting is that he made all these stupid, like, oh, it's going to come out in a lucky month. And we're like, oh, good. Nick's album is going to come out in March. March came and went. And then 98 Degrees just kept pushing back their stuff. So they have, so technically, officially, 98 Degrees released first, I believe May 9th-ish.
Yes, that is correct.
So we had pre-ordered the album. There's a new album, my friend. So yes, we could listen to it online, but we have not done that yet. Or I have not. Have you done it yet?
I have not done it because
I have not done it yet.
Nick took the priority, and then I forgot about 98 Degrees, and then I was like,
it's the principle of the thing. Right. So apparently, if you're American, you have received your albums, or you should have been receiving them. The album was supposed to, like, people bought autographed albums, and they were coming with no autograph on it. But once you open the CD, there's actually an autograph poster in there. As for the Canadians, we've heard nothing, and the other international fans, I guess they're having issues with distribution. So they'll let us know soon. So I'm like, you know what? If you're not going to send us the album, we're going to hold off on reviewing the album. Also because we're lazy and did not listen to the album yet. But we even tweeted 98 Degrees, and Jeff Timmons is normally very good at responding to our tweets. Radio silence, man.
He just liked the tweets. He did not respond.
That's true. He normally likes things, but none of them responded or liked this one, right?
Jeff Timmons liked that one.
Oh, he did? Where I said, where's our CD? And then he just likes it. Okay.
That's all he did. Yeah.
So, yes, if you're in, so we will eventually be reviewing that album. That is not happening this week. Oh, that's the other thing. I went to a wedding. That's why we were busy and didn't record something last week. Sorry. So yes, I couldn't remember what I've done. Also very easy border crossing. Nobody was there. They did not harass us or anything. So.
Okay, that's good.
It was, I don't know. I know a lot of people are very scared to cross the border right now because there's all these stories about being detained and all this other stuff, but they did not give two shits. There was a car ahead of us. It was a very short line. So that was good. So, but the wedding we went to was very strange.
Is it in Cleveland?
It was in Canton. So you know what? Godspeed, everyone. It's your own wedding. Do what you want to do. It was at a really nice church and stuff. And she had a really nice wedding dress, and she wore Crocs with socks as her shoes, which again, I am not a heel person, so that's fine. But then after the dance and everything, the bride disappeared, and she came back and she was wearing a t-shirt and sweatpants. And her
maybe that makes her feel more comfortable.
And I think it makes her feel more comfortable.
And that's okay too. That's your day.
You know what? It's your day. Enjoy yourself. But that's the first time I've ever seen that. And I've seen I know Lydia, when she got married, her dress was super heavy and she was like, oh, and whatever. So you know what? You want to be comfortable at your wedding, but it was very funny. And I was was not expecting that.
Yeah. I feel like Europeans would not allow us to do that.
Could you imagine if I tried to do that at an Italian wedding? No.
Especially not at a Greek wedding. They'd be like, no, go back.
And then I was so confused because she had this t-shirt and I couldn't read what it was saying, and I didn't want to be awkward. But then sorry. It was a quote from The Office. I guess Creed ended up becoming the regional sales manager for a day, and it was business Bo buddy. And I was like, I don't understand what this means. So I was Googling it.
Maybe it's an inside joke among
I think so. I think she's a big Office fan, so I think that's why. But cool thing is the DJ booth had a video screen on it, so you could actually watch the music videos and stuff as the music was playing.
Oh, cool! That's fun.
So that was fun. They had NSYNC Bye 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 and all that stuff. And then they also had a really cool like a picture booth. So it would text you the picture, but also goes into an album, and you could like draw on it and like make hearts and stuff like that. So we did some of that. So it was a very fun wedding. So
That's
my
fun.
grandmother got to see all her siblings. They're still alive. And we took like group photos with them because, yeah, so that was good.
That's good. It's always good to make memories and share photos together.
Exactly, for sure. Speaking of memories and things, this is what this album is for Nick. So,
and can I just say, I wish there was a physical album that I could go to the store and buy, because that is basically the fun of it, right?
Weird,
to go to the store and get it.
And get a physical copy of the CD. And
then you like read the booklets, right? Like that's not
right. Yeah, I like
come on, that's the whole point of getting an album. But I guess we're like in the age now that we don't get an album, which sucks.
You know what's also weird in this age is like if you have Spotify, you don't even buy the album. So like
you just pre-save it. You're just pre-saving it.
Do you still buy albums on iTunes?
Yeah, I bought this one because I wanted to help out Nick.
Yeah, but like if you just go to Spotify, you just save the album, it's free. And I'm like, I feel like you put so much effort into this and you have nothing. Like it's weird to not have a CD. Maybe in the future they might do one. I don't think so. I feel like they would have done it at this point in time, right? And I know a lot of people don't have CD players anymore.
Like, okay, it's coming out May 15th, and it wasn't a lot of time to get the album.
Could be.
A physical album. I don't know.
But it's nice to have one to just shove in your car while you're driving.
Yeah, it's fun that's part of being, a fan. You get the album. You share it with your friends.
I do feel like in more recent years. You read the booklet. Yeah. So yeah, obviously we listen to music on our phones and other things.
Like I'm taking off. We got so many and now we can't even get one.
Now we can't even get one. That's true. So I know there's like costs associated and stuff, but I feel like even if he just sold it on his website, people would buy it. Like
people will definitely buy it.
Yeah. So
look at it. Look at now. People are buying it on iTunes, on things like that. Maybe he didn't feel like he would do well. I don't know.
It could be, and then you're stuck with all these CDs and stuff, right? So
yeah, but I know
he's very into like
would support him, right? We've been supporting him for a long time, so
I agree. Yes.
Have some more faith in us. Come on.
Yep. But also I feel like a lot of artists now, again, because of the whole like CDs aren't things, they've been releasing like vinyls,
right?
Which are more expensive, but people buy them, they collect them, and all that stuff. So maybe eventually something, I don't know. Or maybe this is it. Maybe it's like, here we go, moving along to my next project and whatever he's doing next. So
I don't know. It just sucks. Because then you're like, how can you show that you have this album?
Yeah, that you have all the albums, right? So
yeah.
And how do we know it's not going to be like a Netflix or something where they take it off after a while, right? Like,
right?
You're like, oh, I'm so excited this movie is on Netflix. And then they're just like, just kidding, it's gone. And you're like, son of a bitch. And this is why I have all these DVDs and VHS tapes that I don't watch. So I don't know. I guess it's a sign of the times, man.
Good thing our memory is still there. When like back in my day, you used to be able to go to the store and buy a CD.
Yes. All right. Well, anyways, you can listen to it online. You can listen to it for free on Spotify.
And I guess you could make your own CD and copy it that way if you want to. But I'd rather have a physical copy.
I don't even know if I even have a drive. I don't have a CD drive on my laptop. So I couldn't even burn a copy if I wanted to.
That's true. Yeah. See, we're this old. We remember when we used to burn CDs.
Back in my day. Okay, so yeah. So anyways, so it is only available in the air, in the digital
It's available online, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Decoder, I think is the other one.
I think so. Possibly YouTube as well. If it's not on there yet, it'll eventually be on there. People put all the music up anyway. So,
and then Nick also had like these little videos of the song. It's like little episodes in comic book form, but with the lyrics.
Yes. So he is releasing a bunch of comic books. I will show you Nick's page right now. Un momento, por favor. Okay. Sorry. I don't know if we mentioned this, but the album is called Love, Life, Tragedy.
Yes.
So it came out on May 15th.
Because as you know, life happens. You find love and there is tragedy in your life as well.
See,
so it sums up the album.
So he is going to be releasing, what did he say? There was like 7 of them, maybe?
Six episodes talking about each song in an album.
Yes. So basically, he keeps talking about these comic books, but again, just like our CDs, they are not physical comic books. They are online comic books in a music video form. So I'm obviously not going to play the video, but I will hopefully stop it before it starts. Of course, there's always ads. Because, why not? Let's put ads here. Basically, so then he has a little thing. So episode 1, we've introduced you to our main character as a lonely, isolated teen. He's an outsider at school who's bullied by classmates. He's often seen walking home alone, no friends to lean on. In class, he stares out the window, lost in thought, disconnected from the world around him. He tends to doze off in class, often having nightmares of shadowy figures coming for him. At home, things aren't much better. The one person he should be able to count on, his brother, is actually one of the ones tearing him down. He sees his brother going down the wrong path, and there's nothing he can do. The episode sets the emotional foundation for the story, a boy who feels like he doesn't belong, grappling with betrayal from someone he still loves. It hurts to love you, someone who makes you feel alone. So basically, it looks like a comic book. And then the book opens and then it has the little pages and then lyrics of the song come there, right? So
yes, he's in the cafeteria. He's sitting alone. He has no friends.
He's at home. He's missing his brother. He threw the picture against the wall and it's all cracked. And then they're just wandering down paths together and past each other. So yes. So it's a very sad thing. So obviously the song is about Nick and Aaron. But I guess we're kind of jumping ahead here. So basically, you can check that out on Nick's YouTube page. So it is just like Nick Carter. That's his page. And then he has... he
has 2 of those episodes up, and I believe the 3rd one was tomorrow.
Okay. So there's also... I'll just read you the quick description of the Superman episode. So that one... our story continues with the boy walking alone along desolate train tracks, accompanied by a stray white cat, the only companion in his quiet world. Suddenly, a train barrels down the tracks towards the cat. Panic flashes across our main character's face. His time seems to slow down as he's flooded with memories. Moments of powerlessness, abandonment, pain, and then, without thinking, he leaps into action. In a burst of strength, he plants his feet and stops the train with his bare hands. Dust settles. Silence. He stares down at his shaking palms, stunned. This is the moment everything changes. Later, as he walks home through a junkyard, he spots a tattered piece of blue fabric that has been tossed away. Drawn to it, he takes it home and begins crafting something new, a suit, a symbol, a second chance. This is his transformation. The boy who once felt invisible now begins to become something greater. So I guess this is where he becomes his little superhero.
Superman with his blue suit that he's made.
Yes, there he is, running through, stopping trains, finding fabric, sewing things, explosions, flying through the sky. So yes, we know Nick loves comic books, so this is a good extension of stuff. And this, there's also a lot of the songs already have music videos as well. So I guess what we should also point out is, although this is a new album, he's been working on this album for 3-ish years. So
3 years,
So some of the songs he's performed in the Who I Am concerts. Some of the songs he's done at listening parties. So these are not all brand new songs. If you've been following Nick over the years, he's also released some of them as singles already previous to this. So
I would say we've heard majority of them.
Probably about half.
Yeah, I would say maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 7, maybe 6 or 7 we haven't heard, but I feel like we've heard most of them.
So he has music videos for Hurts to Love You, Superman, Made for Us, Never Break My Heart. And again, Stages. Stages is not on the album, is it?
No.
and then Dirty Laundry is. So yeah, so there's quite a few. So if you ever want to see those videos, they again are still on his official page. So we got a whole bunch.
And maybe also why he doesn't have a physical album is because there's 16 songs, and usually artists release only 12 to 13 songs.
True. But even though there's 16 songs, the album is less than an hour long.
True.
So it's very like bonus brothery.
Thinking as well. I don't know.
Yeah, because most of the songs are like shorter. So, all right. Well, So here's
maybe he can sell some on his website.
Yes, maybe. Okay, so Love Life Tragedy is the album. We usually talk about the charts afterwards, so I guess we'll talk about that right now. So, okay, why don't we just get into these songs, I guess?
Yes, we just wanted to share the videos because that's part of his creativity for this album. I've been working for 3 years on it, so we thought that we should share that.
Yes. So it's a new album, but not new because we already have heard a lot of.
And it's a new album title because we thought the
supposed to be
tour that he just did was the album title, but obviously he's gone through a lot of things in the 3 years that he's been working on this album. Who Am I was the tour and the album we thought, but now it's Love Life Tragedy.
We
are up to date now.
At one point we thought it was going to be called Stages. At one point we thought, I feel like there's been a couple of different like title changes and things like that.
Yes.
Also, this is still pretty new that there's not a Wikipedia page about it. I know, shocking, sad. You know how I love to read the writers and producers. But good news, Sofia has showed me the way of how to find this information. So on Spotify, they have all this information. So we will have,
maybe not like in depth as it would be if you're following, obviously, from Wikipedia, but there's still majority of the things.
Still information is there. All right. Yeah. So, as we said, this is a 16-song album, and we are already 26 minutes in, so we're going to try to go a little bit faster.
Well, if you've listened to our podcast for 6 years, we do not do things by the book.
We do not do things. That is correct.
We just go with the flow.
Alrighty. So the very first song on this album is called Made for Us, which obviously we've already heard. It was written by Beck Nebel, Brian Shackle, and Nicholas Jean Carter. And it was produced by Brian Shackle and Beck Nebel.
So can I just say, Made for Us, as you all have heard, we love this song. We had an interesting things happened last year on the tour when we tried to get him to sing it in the show. He sang it at soundcheck because I had a sign and he was able to listen to it on the soundcheck. He promised that it would be in the concert. It did not go that way, but he did perform it in Montreal and shared it. I think he shared a fan's Instagram story and shared it to his page. And we were like, you motherfucker, you sing it in Montreal.
We actually heard him say, I can't do Made for Us, like when he was on stage, when it was supposed to happen. So I don't know why he couldn't do it. I don't know if it just was.
But at least Montreal got
yes.
it, and like we said, we heard it previous year before that, or in November in 2023 in Niagara Falls when there was the first two shows there.
So yes,
so that's how we try to be positive about it.
He claims that this is a song for the fans that he made for us. And whatever, and this is like some sort of alternate universe in which we get to like hook up with Nick or whatever. And there's like a really cute like music video for it. It's very like 80s, like glowing, technical, like video gamey type thing. So that's a cute video.
We were there supporting him. He was like saying the same thing, like we're supporting him. This is what the song. It's really good in concert.
It is.
This is why we wanted to hear it again in concert.
It is a very good song. It's upbeat. It's catchy. I've said this before, but I'll say it again because I'm in my Hunger Games era again. But this very much makes me think of President Snow and Lucy Gray in Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. And it's just like, you know, like they kind of come from different worlds and like they have that moment where they're together, and it's like, when the sun comes up, it's over, but hold on, make me believe in a world that never was, like made for us. So like really enjoy this song. Obviously I got a star because it's one of my favorite songs. But yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that he has this song on the album, because I was going to be very upset if he did not
if
put
he
it
cut
on
it from the album. I'd be like,
I would have been like, okay, I get it in the concert, but come on. But
needs to make the album. It was on the
list. He
list.
Did a great thing. He added it on the album. It's the first song, a great way to start it. This is my favorite song. I love it. Great. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Yay, made for us. Okay, so the next song is called Nothing Without Your Love. And it is written by Nick Carter, Brian Shackle, and Beck Nebel. And they also produced it and all that jazz. Brian and Beck produced it. Nick did not produce anything. So he's just performing on it. So
he's performing and wrote it, right?
He performing and wrote it. So yes. So this is, so when I first heard it, so this is a newish one, right? We haven't heard this one before. So when I first heard it, it really starts off a little high pitched, and I was like, okay, that's something. But I also said it was very catchy. It kind of has like an 80s vibe. Basically he like meets a girl at a bar. He kisses her and she's left, and now he's nothing without her love, basically. So I've been waiting for you to call, baby, because I'm nothing without your love. The kiss you get. Yeah. So basically it's him pining over somebody he met briefly, basically. Yes. Is what I'm interpreting from that.
I agree.
Interpreting. That is not a word. That is interpreting. Yes.
Okay. I like it. Pretty good song. Has a nice beat. Nick sounds good. I like the way he sounds. Yes, a little bit high pitched, but I feel like he likes to do
like it starts off high, but then it kind of mellows out a bit. So I was just like,
I feel like he likes to do fun things with his voice to make it different.
For sure. Yes. So yeah, that was good. I also put a star on that one. I thought it was pretty good. All right. So the next one we have is called Good Love. So Nick helped to write it. And then Vic, Billboard Killer Martin, and Vinny Vendito helped write it and produce it.
So Vic, Billboard
Killer.
I feel like he's shown him a lot in his Instagram story.
Loves this man. Yes.
His Instagram live. They're very close, it seems, from the 3 years they worked together. So it was very entertaining, the lives.
Yes. And I'm just like, I always forget this man exists. And then I'm like, Billboard Killer. I'm like, what? And I'm like, all right, this is Nick's buddy here. So yes. So what a strange name. Anyways. Okay. So the song is called Good Love. I wrote, I said it sounded familiar for some reason. Has he like played clips of this before?
I feel like he has shared it.
Okay.
In the Instagram story.
And then
do you think it's also like a Backstreet Boys song?
Okay.
From a previous album?
Because I wrote, it kind of reminds me of a Joe Bro or Backstreet Boys song.
Yes.
It kind of like, I feel like this song could be a harmony for 5-parter. Like this could be a Backstreet Boys song and not just specific. Okay. So yeah, you know what? It kind of sounds maybe a little bit like New Love.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, I wrote that.
Maybe that's it. Yes.
Yes.
So it says like, you've been singing too many sad songs. I'm going to take you back to that good love. I said it's slower than the other 2 songs, but it still has a good beat. But yeah, definitely I feel. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, basically. And then you kind of need to listen to it a few times to get into it.
Yeah.
But I think it's a grower.
Yes. And I'm just going to point this out right now. I was going to mention this at the beginning. We love Nick Carter. So basically this man could sing us a phone book and we're like, oh yes, we love this song. So take our reviews with a grain of salt, because obviously we love this man and think he does a good job in whatever. But yes, I was just like, yeah, this one's a bit slower, but yeah, not bad. Thought it was pretty good. But yeah, it was weird. I was like, I could picture like a whole band doing this song, not just.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so next song up, it is called Hey Kid. So this is written by Nick, Brian Shackle and Beck Nebel. And again, Brian Shackle and Beck Nebel produced this one.
So he shared this as a single a month ago, I believe.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. And it's about him, but I feel like it's also about Aaron.
That's what I felt too. Yeah. So I wrote it's like a song for himself and Aaron, because in the very beginning, it's like, I'm sorry about the way it might go, heartbreak down every road, fool's gold round every turn. And as we know, Aaron had a song called Fool's Gold. So yeah. And it's basically like, hey kid, you didn't ask for this on your birthday wish, innocent nights and sugar high. And then, but then it's like, like, hey, like you didn't know, like obviously you wanted to be a singer, you wish that you were going to be a singer and you thought it'd be awesome, but then all this shit happens basically.
Right. You didn't know what it would be from you being like 10 years old. Like you thought, okay, it's going to be good. So I definitely struggle because sometimes I felt like this was very Aaron heavy, but I also felt like it was very Nick as well, right? Because then he's like, travel the world, meet a girl, and get a home that you'll call your own, which is what Nick ended up doing. And that's also a thing that Aaron really wanted to do. Like Aaron very much wanted to fall in love, wanted to have that person with him, wanted to have kids, which he did have a kid near the end before he passed. But so it's interesting to see, like, it's like, hang on tight, you're going to get your wish. Like, like you didn't ask for this, but like keep holding on type thing, which unfortunately was too late for Aaron, but it seems to be mostly working out for Nick. So yeah. Yeah, I thought it's a good song. I really like the song. It's sad because, obviously he got his wish, but also at what cost kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously we talked about the Carters documentary. If you have not seen that yet, go watch it or go listen to our recap, because as we do, we recap the entire movie.
We're very detail oriented.
Very detailed recap, but so you can see a lot of behind the scenes with the Carter family and all the stuff they grew up and things that Angel and everybody went through. So so good song, sad song, I guess.
I would say sad, but also
I don't know if it's hopeful as well, because like if you keep holding on, you'll get what you dream for. Like
I feel like it's a little bit hopeful because he has mastered it, right? He has done what he said he wanted to do,
right?
But there's also tragedy,
of course. Yeah, no, I think that, because it's talking about losing your innocence and stuff, which, they couldn't just be regular kids just playing in the backyard. They're like traveling the world and having to do stuff and not talking to people and, things like that. So.
And getting the parents taking their money.
Parents stealing their money and, and fucked up relationships and things. So, yes. Okay, so song number 5 is called Searchlight. It was also written by Nick, Brian Shackle, and Beck Nebel, and Brian Shackle and Beck Nebel also produced that one as well. So I wrote that it was like a breakup song. So it talks about...
I feel like this song was also shared in an Instagram story, possibly live as well.
Because it sounded vaguely...
It sounded familiar. Yes. But obviously now we have the whole song to listen to. But yeah, I feel like some of the lyrics was like, oh, I remember this from the IG story. Yeah.
I did really like the lyrics where it says, the love we had fell away, felt it streaming down my face. Every drop I gave, you could have filled a swimming pool. So like he's crying so much and it feels like a swimming pool. So that's a good visual type thing. He wants to get back together, but he can't find one more tear to cry because he's already filled his entire swimming pool with tears.
He's dried out.
Said the song kind of had like a Nick and Knight feel. That album, I felt like it kind of sounded a little bit kind of like that. And then it's like he doesn't want to go back, but he keeps thinking about it. So it's like, when you're like, you're my everything, I believe every inch of you, blah, blah, blah. But I said I won't go back, but then you still keep pulling me in. So it's like that thing where you're just like, should I go back to a bad situation? Should I move on type thing? So it's kind of like that conflictingness there.
Because the memories are good. So you want to continue the memories, but then you feel like it's been bad. So why would you stay?
Right, exactly.
I really like it. Nick sounds really good. Yeah.
Yep. Alrighty. So we also have Never. So the next song is Never Break My Heart, Not Again.
He has a video for this one.
There's a video for this one, yes.
It's like a cartoon character.
Oh, yes, that's the one. Okay.
And he's like climbing. The heart is like, he has to get at the other half of the heart to connect the heart.
See if I can try to show that.
If I remember correctly.
Yes. So this is written by Nick and Edward Carl Martin, but it does not say who produced it. So, yeah. So hold on. Let me just see if I can present this really quick. So it has like that whole like video game text.
Yes.
And then he's got the curtain hair.
Yes.
Can I just pause for a second? Do you watch Amazing Race?
No.
So there was a team on there and they were gay best friends, and it was Carson and Jack, and spoiler alert, they ended up winning, but Carson had very similar hair to this, but it was like dark brown, obviously. And I was just like, oh, I pick him as my favorite because and they were a delightful team and super kind and nice. And I'm glad that they won. There was another team that was horrendous, but we're not going to get into that. Anyway, so basically,
if you would like to see those comments, feel free to go to Cinzia's Facebook because she wrote about them.
It's just very annoyed. Anyway, so yeah, so Never Break My Heart Again. So he gets like a text message in the early 2000s on his little flip phone here. And then, so then he's all like depressed, his little character. And he like goes to the city and like, I don't know, shit happens. It's very cute. It's a cute little like animated video, but not breaking your heart again. Anyways, go check it out if you haven't seen it.
Yes. I thought this song is like very catchy. I like the song. It's a good, fun song.
Yes. I said he keeps getting back with the girl that breaks his heart. He needs to not get back with her. And I said it just keeps repeating the chorus. So like it is definitely like not a lot of lyrics in this one. It's a lot of repeating. I feel
like songs just repeat themselves, and if it's catchy, they're like, yep, this is done. Put it on the album.
So yeah, basically the main thing is Never Gonna Break My Heart Again, Never Gonna Break My Heart Again. Ooh, yeah, it just kind of
and he picks up the pieces and he puts them back together, and his heart is complete by the end.
Yes. So there you go. Very catchy, very easy to sing along to this song because you will learn the lyrics very quickly on that. Yeah. So yes. All right. Okay, next up. Okay, so this one is me being a dumbass. So hold on. So it's called Easy, the home version. And it shows. So it was written by Jake Fine, James Sheffer, Nick Carter, Billboard Killer, and Vinny Vendito, and produced by Billboard Killer and Vinny Vendito. I thought Jimmy Allen also helped write this.
I think he was just on the song, not a writer.
So basically, I was listening to this song. And I was like, is this a cover? I feel like I've heard this song before. And I forgot that they actually released this song. Like,
yes, because I mentioned to Cinzia, Jimmy Allen was on the song. They made a video of it, of their home life. And I was like, then a divorce happened and some other things with Jimmy Allen happened. So I was like, maybe Nick was like, I do not want any bad headlines anymore. So let's just do one by myself. And maybe that's why it's called just home version.
Okay, so the video is still okay. So it was actually released 3 years ago, so that's why it sounded familiar to me when I was listening.
Well, the timeline is right because Nick said he's been working on this for. He's been
working on this for 3 years. Basically, the video is them in the desert. Oh, I forgot that the kids are in it.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna just show this really quick. So it's basically they're in a desert. Him and Jimmy Allen, and then I think it's just Odin and Saoirse.
Yes,
because I don't think Pearl was born yet.
I don't think so.
Was she born?
Not yet.
Because that's Saoirse, right? That's They're just like riding around on things in a desert, and Jimmy Allen is there, and there's trucks, and they're just singing in a desert. And Lauren is in the video. So basically,
because it's about home, like their home, right? Like their wives do everything at home.
Yes. So this is a really nice song. Kind of remembering that the wives, and they're the ones basically being almost like a stay-at-home mom when the husbands are on the road, and they just like taking care of the kids and doing all that stuff. So which I guess also works if you're just a stay-at-home mom.
It's good, but now that we know Cinzia now knows why maybe he hasn't have Jimmy Allen on this.
Yes.
Because we found out. So
this is like a love life for a love letter to their wives, but obviously Jimmy Allen and his wife are no longer married, so I guess that's whatever. So it also starts with the kid saying hey. So basically it talks about your home life, waking up with his wife, making breakfast for the kids. So it's basically a love song for his wife, and she does everything with style and grace, and it makes it easy to love her. So, and then I wrote Jimmy Allen country, and then I now realized so it has a bit of a country vibe to it, obviously, because he collaborated with a country artist for this song.
And Jimmy Allen is also friends with Billboard Killer.
Makes sense.
So I feel like that's how they connected.
Yeah. So basically, it's like you keep my heart beating. Everything you give me everything I need. You're special. You're doing all this shit for the family. So like, thank you. Like it's a very nice song. Very cute.
It's very sweet. The song, when you can appreciate your wife.
Yes.
In your home, doing things for you.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything on that? Is that it?
I like the song. It's nice.
Yeah.
And it's a cute video. Before the things that happened.
Yes.
All right, moving along.
Okay, so the next song is Hurts to Love You.
So we have heard this song previous. He obviously shared the song. That's a single, and then the video. And then there was like home footage in that video as well. And then you're like, oh my God, you're gonna bawl because I feel like that was like a recent thing. Aaron had just passed, like maybe 6 months.
So
at that time, I think it was. And then you're like sad, right? Because you feel
right. So it was written by Nick and Tommy Lee James, and it was produced by Stuart Crichton. So this is a song he wrote for Aaron after Aaron passed, and I would say it was pretty soon after Aaron passed because I can't remember what month did he. He died before his birthday, and his birthday was in December. So I feel like Aaron passed in like October-ish. Maybe.
I think so, October.
November 5th.
Okay.
2022. And then there was, so then Nick performed this song at his memorial.
It was in January, right?
Which was in January. So,
okay.
Yeah. So
maybe a few months. Sorry.
I think he released it right before the memorial.
I believe so.
Like right before, like a day or two before or something.
It might have been a week.
Maybe. And it's just like such a sad song. And it's just like.
It's very sad. It's beautiful
so
song. Like
it's a beautiful song. It's a great song.
But it's very sad. And then you're like you're watching the video and you're just like, oh my God.
And there's
that's when you like cry, right?
Like when Nick performed this at Aaron's memorial, they were showing like the footage of them in the background. It was as little kids running around and stuff. And then so basically just crying the entire time. And as soon as he finished the song, he like left the stage. Like
yes, I remember seeing that.
He did come back later, but like at that point I was just like, Jesus Christ, like that's hard. And like we saw him perform it in concert as well. Does he do it all the time? I think sometimes he might skip it. I can't remember if
I feel like when we went, he did it.
He did it.
But maybe he took it out a few times after because maybe it was hard for him.
Yes. And it was just like immediately I went and saw him in Nashville. I was in the front row and he's looking at me right when the song started. And I was just like, Troy, do not cry. And then he like looked away and I was just like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. The song, like, it's very, and then
I think
forget about
like
the
we
song.
know the story, right? We know the story. We followed both of them. it's very sad what happened to Aaron.
Tragic decline, and it was
and then like the album is tragedy. Like that's hard. It's very traumatic.
It is. Yeah, and it kind of starts off with they're talking about they've been through all the wars together, and then nobody else can understand because not everyone has become international pop stars. So they like, and then also after listening to the Carters documentary and seeing that there was a lot more behind the scenes stuff that obviously we didn't know about, like when Aaron almost tried to kill himself and then Nick had talked him out of that and things like that. And then they played this. That's how they ended the documentary by playing this. I'm like, are you trying to kill me with sadness? Like, it's just
we didn't cry enough in this doc. We must cry at the end.
Cry at the end as well. So yeah, he's like, I always hoped your tomorrows would be better than the days before. I hope you would find your road to follow. So place you. So like, it's just sad. It's sad. So anyways, it's a good song. It's a very good song.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Beautiful song. He does a really good job on it, but yes.
Just very sad. And you're just like, you want to give a hug. You want to give him a big hug. Yes. You're like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Because that's hard too. So not only going through grief, but going through grief on a public forum, right? Like Nick found out when he was in Europe.
Because they feel like you haven't done enough. And like, even in the doc, he's like, I feel
even
like I haven't done
the Aaron fans are also just
and
like,
then
him.
I think Angel was like, no, you don't blame yourself. Like you did all that you could.
The problem is that when you're an adult, you can't be forced to do things.
Right.
And they tried to with the 5150s, and then they couldn't get them because they're like, no, he's fine, whatever, because people can talk their way out of things. And if people don't know the situation, they don't know, right? So
because when the police visited him, he was
like
fine
100 times. And he was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, are you? I don't know. So
yeah.
People who have seen Aaron throughout the years knew that things were not right, but you can't force somebody to do something that they don't want to, which is unfortunate.
He had enablers, right? The enablers continued to keep him in that path.
That is true. Okay, so the next song is also a song that we have heard before. It's called Superman. It was written by Abraham Poitras, Adrian Porter, Edward Carl Martin, John Christian Frasca, and Nick Carter, and Vic Martin, and Vincent Anthony Vendetto. And it was produced by Abraham Prothis Vinny, Billboard Killer, Let Me Rock Out. Okay, so there's a lot. MII Rock Out.
There's a huge team in this song.
Big team on this song, Superman.
I really like the song live. I don't know. The way that Nick does it live, it's really good. I enjoy singing along. It's just great. I don't know. I belted at the top of my lungs. I really like this song.
Yes. So obviously, so I already performed it in concert. He released the video ages ago. I ain't nobody's superhero, but I could be your Superman. I said the song has grown on me over the years. When it first came out, I was like, meh. But then we went to like the one concert, and there was this man, and he was just bawling his eyes out and singing along to this song. And I was like, and he had been miserable the entire concert. He's like, Nick only has one song, blah, blah, blah. He was just like being a complete ass. What the heck is that?
Oh my God. I was like, somebody's at the door.
Did you just hear a sound? Like,
oh my God. It's the asshole.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, so there's some.
Oh my God. I thought the guy was there. Like, what? No, I'm just kidding.
Like, what the hell was that sound? It sounded like a timer going off, like an old-fashioned one, but we don't have one of those, so I don't really know. It's fine. I'll check it out later.
Weird.
Anyways, it's a good song. It's around the time this song came out, he was making a bunch of little videos about him like fixing things.
Yes.
Like Nick's Fix It or whatever. Just like,
and he was, oh my God, he was on the hill and he was carrying, what was he carrying? Oh my God, it was like,
there was a ladder, there was like a
he was carrying something on the hill. Do you want to go on the video and see?
Yes, hold on one sec.
It was very funny. We were all laughing because we're like, what is this? Why are you carrying this?
I was like, the hills are alive with this. Okay. These stupid ads, man. Gotta pass. Okay. Share screen, Superman. Okay. Oh, I forgot. There's like clips of him in concerts and stuff. I Can't remember. Did you submit anything? I think. Then his wife calls him.
He didn't.
Yeah, they didn't use it. So then his wife calls him, and then for some reason he's at this like country estate. I don't really know. He has a gas can.
Yeah, the gas can. He was like, I was like, dude, what are you even doing? It was like that's so funny.
He's just standing and like fucking Maria Von Trapp in the middle of this mountain with the gas can.
Bringing this song, I was so dying.
He's like playing music by the water. He's just like wandering. It's just,
and then he's singing with the gas can. This guy is hilarious.
He's in Wyoming. Wasn't this the time where he was like trying to like make us guess where he was? And he's like, no one will know where I am. I was in Wyoming. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Like, he's so funny. Like,
yeah. So basically he was at this house. Look at him. He's bringing some wood. He's, I don't know, making a deck.
With a gas can still. It's like he wouldn't stop.
He's taping some wood. I don't know if he's painting. Oh no, an electrical shock. I've almost like, I'm just like, who let this man renovate their house? Like,
I know. I was like, are you like, be careful, buddy. Like, don't get hurt.
Well, let's put paint on his forehead. It's very cute. I don't know.
It was fun. It's Nick, right? It's totally Nick. So I
like,
would.
Look, I'm a regular everyday man. And then his wife's like, where the hell are you? And he's like, oh, ha, ha, ha. So like, he's kind of, I don't know.
He's like, I'm on the hill holding my gas can.
The hill's alive with this gas can. I almost needed a gas can the other day. You know what? This brings him joy. Let him be a Superman, okay?
I don't know why, but it's making me laugh again. Oh my god!
But yeah, it's a good song.
It's a good song. Thank you for sharing the video again.
No problem.
I totally forgot
about the video. But basically, like, yeah, she has a heart of kryptonite.
We love him dearly.
It's another love song. It's very lovely. Good job, Nick. Appreciate you.
Good job, Nick. Thank you for your entertainment.
For your entertainment, yes. Okay, so after Superman, now this one is a cover, correct?
Yes. So he does this Dirty Laundry in the concert.
Yes.
Yes. And then he's like, I like this song. I'm going to do my own take on it and do a video.
Yes. So according to our friends at Spotify, it was written by Danny Korchmar, Don Henley, which I believe is the original performer of this, and then Vic Billboard Killer Martin, produced by Billboard Killer Vinny Vendado and Abraham Poitras. And then this version has Ashba. Do you know who this person
I have never heard of this Ashba in my life.
I was just like, oh, good old Ashba. But so there is a music video for this one.
Yes. And then I was like, oh, Nick, doing close up of your mouth. What are you doing there? Hot.
I don't know. I was just like,
people.
I thought I was sharing. Hold on one second.
It's a good song.
So basically, it's talking about like dirty laundry, like airing out your dirty laundry, like your secrets and stuff. So like he's in the public eye. Everybody wants to know about this stuff. Make my living off the evening news. So he gets very rocker in this video, in this song. This is like he pulls out his rock
very
voice.
Rock Nick.
This was like the rock portion of the concert where he had Bon Jovi and other stuff, like whatever. But this was so this is the video. I'm still not sharing the screen. Sorry, guys. Okay. So it's a very, very basic video, which obviously they did in front of a green screen, and basically there's just a bunch of flames and American flags. It's flame and American flag seems to be the main thing. And I was just like, don't really care about that, but or maybe it's a red screen. So basically he's just singing. He has a close up of his mouth where he's like, dirty laundry and blah, blah, blah. Like, this is the guy. This is Ashba.
Ashba, yeah.
Honestly, I don't know who Ashba is, and I feel, is this a new musician? There's some more close up of his teeth. I was like, sir, I don't know. I need to see that. But yes, there's just like a lot of.
Don't look at the teeth. Just look at the mouth.
Just look at the sexy mouth. There you go. So yes, he's dancing. They're in front of flames. This guy's guitar has some flames in it, and yes, so. But yeah, so if you would like a close up of Nick's lips He's there singing to you about dirty laundry. And
wasn't this like part of the show where it was like a message towards people, like this is showing off?
He did also wear this outfit in concert. This is like the red plaid thing with the leather jacket.
That was the second leg. The first leg, he didn't wear this.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Let me just pull up the dirty laundry.
So yeah, I feel like this dirty laundry, like
it's like kick them when they're
people
up.
Like to see you succeed, but then they want you to, like the media, like breaks you down after you've succeeded for so long.
Yeah. So basically, it's about how the media like builds you up. Yes. And then pushes you down, and they just like kick you when you're up, kick you when you're down, and they're always talking about your shit, and you're like, so it's just about wanting to like, just like gossip news articles and things like that, basically, which obviously he has had his fair share of over the years with various things. So that is that song. Okay, let's check what is next on our list. Wild Heart.
Well, I feel like this is the one that we haven't heard at all. So this might be the newer song.
I think so.
For me, I haven't heard it. So I was like, oh, wow.
So this one also has a bunch of people, apparently. So written by Abraham Poitras, Darren Ashba. Oh, is that the dirty laundry guy? Ashba?
I think so. Ashba? Okay. I didn't know he had a first name.
Yes. Nick Carter, Vic Martin, Vinny Vendito, produced by Abraham, Vinny, and Billboard Killer. Okay. So.
Oh, remember at the listening party, you had that piece of paper and you were going to bring it and compare?
And I forgot.
You forgot.
Did I send that to you ever?
No. You said that you were going to put it somewhere and then you're going to remember it.
I was going to put it somewhere and then I totally forgot. Because it was in my purse for a while.
Maybe you put it in a messenger?
When was the listening party?
When was his
year?
I would say September 30th. So October 6th. Or 5th. Sorry, 5th. 4th or 5th.
Why do I have pictures of this? All right, I'll see if I can find anything. Did I send it? Maybe I sent it in my... Did I send it to my mail exchange people?
Maybe.
Did I send it to you? I feel like I would have sent that at one point.
Maybe you sent it in a messenger group, but I'm not sure which.
Yeah, but I feel like you send a lot of things. So I feel like stuff gets lost.
That's very true.
Especially if this was, a year ago?
Yes, because it was September 30th / October 4 and 5 was when he came. So I feel it was the second Niagara Falls show. So that was October 5th of last year.
So I feel like, there's some Nick hats. Oh, I found it.
Okay, great.
Okay. All right.
Do you want to go through this and then compare?
Oh, yeah. Should we do the rest of the album first?
Yes, let's finish and then we can compare.
Okay, sounds good. I am shocked that I found it. Okay, sir. Sure. Okay, sorry. What were we talking about? What's the song?
So Wild Heart. It's not bad.
Yeah.
This is another grower for me. I had to listen a few times, so it will take time to get into, but it's not bad.
That's good. So I wrote, it's very like cowboy westerny theme because like they talk about a poker face, not wanting to show his cards, and then talk about a ride or die and like a quick draw, and I'm like,
and they talk about a horse as well. I believe I heard
horses like riding off into the distance or whatever. Hold on, where did the lyrics for this go? Shots were heard, 2 hearts are dead on the scene. It's like, placed your love in front of me, it took a bullet, like, so it's very like I thought you were my ride or die, and you would never say goodbye. So she got me with a wild heart. So then I wrote, I knew it was over before it was over. I was so love drunk. I tried to play it sober for her. I'm like, oh, I like those lyrics. Like, that's fun. It's Love Drunk. So they became the winners of losers. And then I said, oh, but I said it was like, it was an okay song. It was not like amazing right off the bat. And I definitely feel like it'll be a grower, not a shower, but it gave me like old timey Western vibes because I love the lyrics on this. Okay. So next up is confusing to me. Should we just do the two cold nights together?
Sure.
Okay, so let me just make sure they have the same. So there's two songs with the same name. So one is called Cold Heart. No, it is not called that. It is called Cold Night, 0 Degrees. And that was, okay, that makes more sense. So it was written by Abram Pothis, Jay Rollins, Nick Carter, Vic Martin, and Vinny Vendito, produced by Abraham Pothris, Vinny Vendito, and Vic Billboard Killer Martin, and Ghost Kid. So let me just double check if the other one also has the same, because we are very confused by this song. And in my defense, I only listened to it a couple of times. So it's all the same people.
To it a few times. I love the song. I really like it. I don't know. The song is really good. I think because Nick sings it nicely, I really enjoyed it. And then I was like, okay, wow, it's two different songs. Because I also like Cold Night Winter Mix as well. But then I was like, oh, and then I listened again to the other one and I was like, oh, is this just a continuation of the first song? Because some of the lyrics have the same lyrics in Winter Mix or similar.
So,
and then it was like, I think it's just two different versions, but just with, but with just the same kind of song lyrics.
I think it's the same song. So first off, I said again, because I'm in my fandom era, I said that this reminded me of when Edward leaves Bella in the forest in Twilight when he's breaking up with her. Or I guess that might be New Moon, I think. Anyways, in the Twilight universe. So it says like 0 degrees is breaking my heart into pieces. It's a cold, cold night. If I can't have you by my side. So they're hoping to get back together and the angels send him back to her heart. I said it's not a bad song. So it gives me that like you're left in a forest at night vibes, like what Edward did to Bella, which is shenanigans. But then
I was like, maybe he's doing two songs because he doesn't want it to make the first song 0 degrees longer than it has to be. So he doesn't want to be like 6 minutes long. He just wanted to keep it 3 minutes each.
Could be. I did also look up the lyrics on AZ Lyrics because they're not, again, because there is no album, physical or anything like that. They're not really up there. And normally Genius Lyrics also does it, but as of right now, they're not up there. But on A to Z Lyrics, it looks like it's the exact same lyrics. Like I'm not seeing different lyrics. So I think it's just the music in the background is different, is what I'm. Unless the people who put it in on A to Z Lyrics did it wrong. So I did not have a good enough time to like go back and forth and listen. But it seems like most of the words are still the same. Or it's like, praying the angels send you back to my heart. Okay.
Well, maybe that's why I like it, because the first one is a good song. So I was like, okay.
So I liked the second one better. So which one's the second one? Winter Mix?
Winter Mix.
And I feel like I'm like, do I like this better because I'm hearing the song again and I've heard the song already? Or do I just like the sound of it? I feel like it just sounds like a little smoother or better. I don't know.
That's possible. I enjoyed both. I was like, oh, I guess I like Cold Nights because I love both.
Freezing your ass off. I also thought it was good that it said 0 degrees because that's freezing in Celsius. But I'm pretty sure that in Fahrenheit, it's like 32 degrees, isn't it? Let me and I feel like, so in Fahrenheit, 0 degrees is 32. So I feel like it just sounds better that 0 to me means cold. And it could just be because I'm Canadian or whatever. Because in Canada, 32 degrees is really hot, hot, hot. So you don't really get that cold vibe, right?
Right.
So.
Well, It's two good songs, or one really good song.
In case you're wondering, 0 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 17 degrees Celsius. So that is cold AF. So your heart would definitely shatter.
Yes.
Coldness of that. So I thought I had read a quick thing somewhere. Someone had talked about it. Where did I put that?
Yes. Remember Dark Side, BSB?
Dark Side, yes.
Yes.
Where did I close that page? Am I an idiot?
I'm not sure if you closed it.
I am not seeing it. Solid BSB. What is this called again? Cold Heart?
Cold Night, 0 degrees.
Cold Night. God, why can I not? You know why it's throwing me off? Because the cover art is
a heart.
So I keep, and they're talking about your heart shattering. So
I can see that. Fair.
Life tragedy. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. I had it up, man. I don't know where I did with it. I cannot spell either. My God. And watch me finally open. Here we go. Okay. So Rose, I believe, wrote this. So let me see what she wrote about. So it's darksidebsb.com is her pages. And Dirty Laundry, where the heck is what is this song called again? Okay, Cold Night. I found it. Okay. So this is what Rose wrote. She said, with Cold Night, there's 2 versions. And to try and save some words on this novel, I'm going to talk about them both here. We have 0 degrees and Winter Mix. I find 0 degrees to be a bit more haunting on how they have it hit with the music, which is true. It does seem a little more jarring and true.
I guess it's trying to show that the coldness, right?
The coldness, the sadness. The
sadness, yeah.
So she said, this is a song of loneliness, a song of yearning for something that isn't going to come, and desperate hope. But with Winter Mix, I feel like it's simpler. That's not a bad thing. I feel like the vocals shine more on Winter Mix. And as someone who really is here at the end of the day for that, I think I might be leaning more towards Winter Mix, and which I prefer because I was pretty torn earlier. The power vocals on this are something I adore and were sorely missed since All American, because when Nick gets going on a track, it's something to behold. I missed those belts, Nick. Happy to see them back. So yes. So it's sung in a different way, I guess. So it's the same. So one is more haunting and one is a little more, I guess, hopeful, or simple.
So I guess 2 versions, but sung differently.
Yes.
With the similar lyrics.
Yes. So, and you know what I just realized? It was a tab that I already had up here. So I just could have, there's a lot of tabs open, okay?
It's
that looks like that picture. Anyway, so yes. So there you go. 2 versions of the same song. Kind of weird to pick that song, but maybe
I really enjoyed them. I don't know. I thought they're both nice, and I feel like Nick sang it very well. So
yes. Okay, so up next we have so my thing for Cold Night Winter Mix was same as before, more soft, like it better. So those are my comments when I got to that one.
Yeah, that one was like I said, apparently I enjoyed Cold Nights because I love both. And then I was like, maybe it could be a continuation of the other song. But both are good.
Did I just press on my phone? Okay, so next up is song number 13. So we're nearing the end of the album, guys. This one is called Storms. So it was written by Nick, Brian Shackle, and Beck Nebel, and then Brian and Beck produced it. Storm. So, okay, so this one I believe I did hear in the listening party. I don't know if this has been actually out or not. But
I don't recall this one, so I feel like this one is also new.
But I could also be insane. So basically, why do I not have the... Oh, that is strict. Oh, it is here. I just closed the thing. So I wrote that it has a lot of boat themes, and which is like, something that Nick is very into is boats and stuff. And I said, so it's basically, I try to raise a sail and ride the wind, surrounded by storms. There's there's weather sounds in there, like a boat, like the thing. So basically, it's talking about how he's been through all of this stuff, the dark comes blowing in and the pain of the hurricane and all that stuff and the tidal waves. But basically it's just talking about pulling him through and getting through to the other side and like getting through the storm and all that stuff. So that's kind of like better skies and brighter days ahead, as long as you're because he's always been surrounded by storms and darkness. So you just need to pull yourself out of that and survive, I guess.
Yeah. Basically, I put a good song. I like it. I feel like he's been through a lot, and I think he has a good support system, and that helps him to get through all the things that he's been through. And also he's been going through therapy as well, which I feel like that has helped him as well.
For sure.
But I think mostly like his family, like his children, I feel like that helps him get through things more.
100% for sure. Yes. And Angel too. And their therapy's helping and all that
and
stuff.
Angel,
so, so they're just talking about, they want to see the blue skies. You want to keep going. So just basically you keep going through all this like shit that's thrown at you basically. So yes.
Because there's always an end at the end of the tunnel, even though you don't think so at that time, it does get better.
Yes. You will crash on the shore and you will get back. Yes. So yeah, there you go. Just keep going through the darkness and stuff. So
basically just keep swimming if you know that.
You know what? Yes. Just like Dory says in Finding Nemo. Keep on swimming. Okay. So the next song is called Don't Let Go. It was written by Nick Carter, Brian Shackle, Beck Nebel, and produced by Brian Beck. So Don't Let Go.
So this one is another grower. I had to listen to it a few times as well, and I think it's not bad. But other songs are a little bit better than this one.
So I'm interested in this because first I originally thought it was like a relationship or something, but now I think this one might actually be about his kids, because there's a line that says, "Little hands in the back seat floating through the summer breeze, going fast, it's hard to see what's in front of me. And I knew this moment wouldn't last forever, and you were always meant to leave." So I wonder if that means it's like your kids growing up and leaving you, and he just kind of wants to like stay with it.
Stay in that moment of
I don't want to let you go. I don't want to think about the end. So you could be thinking about the end as in like a relationship breaking up, but I feel like it might have to do with kids, but I don't know.
Yes, I believe he wrote it on Twitter that one was about his kids.
Okay, so that makes sense. I wonder if
I was trying to remember, but yes, I believe so. That was the one that he said.
Oh, okay. Let's see what Rose says. Maybe because I feel like she analyzes things more than us. So she said, not that Don't Let Go is in any less emotional, just a different way. This is absolutely a song I feel all parents and fans of Nick will immediately connect to. I'm not a parent, but I get the sadness of watching your kids grow with love, knowing one day you will have to let them go. But in the song, he's struggling with those thoughts that he wants to hold on forever somehow. He's asking his kids in the song to never let him go, and that he wants to keep holding on for as long as he can, if it makes sense. He's talked about how much peace creating his own family has brought him after a life of turmoil in his childhood. And that's why he's clinging harder to these moments and memories and the childhood and innocence of it all. That makes sense because, as you can see, like Nick's been doing a lot of like going to Odin's T-ball stuff and like doing things like that. So yeah, because originally when I first heard the song, I'm like, oh, this is just like another like love song. But I was like, oh, when the little hands part, I was like, oh, this is about kids growing up, I think.
But yeah, I think if you look on Twitter as well, on his Twitter, I think he wrote something about that.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Well. I believe that is the song that he wrote. But yeah, I agree that you just wanted them to stay in that moment, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because people grow up, they're gonna do different lives.
Time is like going way too fast.
Yes. So yeah. So pretty good song, not a bad song.
Yeah, I feel like that's a grower. Not bad.
It's not like you're rocking out to that song, but whatever. Okay, so then obviously we're going to skip Cold Night Winter Mix because we already talked about it.
Okay.
So
this one.
Okay, let me just read the credits first.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. So it was written by Matthew Gerard, Michelle Weiss-Maslin, and produced by Jeffrey Scott Bluestein. So Help Me. So Help Me
re-recorded.
Re-recorded.
Okay.
Is what it says.
In no way at sound check he's like, yeah, do you guys want me to re-record this? And we're like, yes, of course, because Help Me is a great song. It is like a rock song, right? Like he rocks out in this song. Mm-hmm. It's really good. In no way when I listened to this was I like, wow, Nick, this is totally unexpected. I cannot believe you do like an 80s vibe. Which I know you love 80s, right?
He does love 80s.
But I was thinking, okay, he's going to re-record it with his grown-up voice now.
That's what it sounded like. And
I thought that's what he meant. But clearly, he had a different vibe and thought to this.
So, yes. So we thought...
Which is not bad.
And you know what? Like, when you have something new, obviously, it's going to, like, throw you off a little bit.
Right, which is not bad, but I like the original better.
Yes. So I have listened to it again, and it's growing on me some more. But where did Leslie post about it? Was it on Facebook or on Instagram? I could have sworn she posted about it somewhere. Oh, okay. Yes. So, for those that remember, back in whatever the fall, when Nick was like doing his tour, he ended up going to Montreal and he was doing like some sound check parties and things like that. But for that one, he decided, hey, you can actually be in the studio and help watch me re-record a new song. So they're like, okay. And I hesitated, A, because I was broke. B, because it was in Montreal, which is like an 8-hour thing, and C, by the time I hesitated too much, it was already sold out. So
it sold out like in an hour. It was
can't remember. Was it
like $750?
Yeah. Yes. US.
So I was like, sorry, buddy.
I was like, that's a lot of money. I love you, bud, but I'm not going to pay that much and have to travel to Montreal. And like if it was in Toronto, I would be more tempted to go, but also I have no money, so I was not going to go do that. So,
but also like I just met him
because we just saw him. Like if he had not, if this was like a standalone thing and we hadn't just seen like 3 shows in a week, and done some meet and greets and listening parties and stuff like that. If none of that stuff had happened and that was just the one thing, I'd be like, oh yeah, fuck, let's do it. But I was like, cannot do that right now. I have to be a responsible adult. But some of our friends did get to go and they had a great time. And I feel like it was like 20-ish people, maybe less, 10.
Yeah, I think it was like about that.
Somewhere between 10 and 20 people. Yeah. And they got to spend like, I don't know, like 4 hours in Montreal with Nick as they were recording stuff. And then he's like, oh, we're going to redo Help Me. Like he was kind of like going through the process of how to record things and stuff. And then at the end, he got them all to like clap. So our friend Amanda and our friend Leslie, they were like, they're all clapping in there. And he's like, oh, I'm going to use the clapping in this song when I re-release Help Me. So I'm listening to this song and first of all, very confused because it's a very different vibe than the original Help Me, which I love.
It's
and I definitely did not hear clapping. I was so confused. So our friend Leslie, so she is under Canadian_less. So she wrote on, should I share the screen? I don't know. Sure. So I'll share the screen. So she wrote, I've got quite a few DMs about Nick's new Help Me. So I just as surprised as everyone when I heard the new album version. There was no hint of that while we were in the studio watching him record. Whether I was in the booth with Nick, the studio watching Nick in the booth, Nick was in the studio with us, all signs pointed to the original version, just with a grown-up voice. And damn, did he sound good, fire emoji. I didn't share too much from that day back then, but when I did, but I will say 2 things. One, I have a new respect for all recording artists and how much time, effort, work the recording process actually takes. We were there 4 hours and that was only one song. And a huge thank you to Nick Carter and Zoo for this incredible experience. For those who don't know, Zoo is his like guitar player who goes.
Yes. He was there with Nick when he was touring with All American.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's what he said. Because I definitely have pictures with Zoo from All American. For this incredible experiencing, opening up the studio so we could have this experience. I'm beyond grateful. Plus, I got a cute selfie and pictures. If you haven't listened, take a look. So there's some videos of Nick there in the studio, like just vibing and stuff and recording. And then there's that cute selfie. And then there's other people were there chatting. So yes. So
we have a whole bunch of people there.
So yeah, there's definitely a whole bunch of people. So basically, they got to experience it, but that's a good point that sometimes when you do one version of a song for an album, you don't like it, you go back and redo it. So all of this to say that it is a very interesting version that the first time I heard it threw me off. It's very much 80s vibe. It's kind of,
I just was not expecting this because in the sound check, he was like, do you want me to re-record it? And we were like, yeah, it would be great to hear you now with this song.
Right.
Because he sounds great in concert when he sang it.
Yes.
So when I heard this, I was like, okay, not what I was expecting.
Not what I was expecting. Also, this was another one that I originally have thought, I'm like, I really kind of want to make like a music video. Like, when you add clips from movies and stuff, but this was the first one that stuck in my head. And again, this was also a Twilight one. I thought it was very Edward Bell-y. But I just really like this song. And there's a couple of parts where there's some other words that he says. They kept that. Like, so the lyrics are entirely the same.
Yes.
Oh my God, why can I not remember the words that they say? When he like normally like rocks it, gotta know. So they still have that part in there. So the parts are there. The components of the song are there. It's just very 80s synth pop kind of vibe. And the original version is a little more like a rock vibe, I would say.
Yes, because during that time when he came out with that album, it was a more rock version or more rock album.
Gotta know.
Because I feel like when he was in the Backstreet Boys, it's all pop, right? So he wanted to move away from that and go rock.
And I know that he's also hated Now or Never over the years, but now he likes it again. I don't know. But I'm like, I feel like
he only said he likes 3 songs from that album.
Yeah. It's a good album.
Yeah, there's some great songs on there.
So anyway, so I was listening to this again and I feel like it's growing on me and I do like the differences, but when it's a song that you like really love and it, whatever, it's sometimes hard to hear it in a different way, but I think I kind of like it now. I would still probably prefer the other one in concert.
I will say that I prefer the other one. I like that one better. I don't know if I will like this one, but at least he tried. It's all about creativity. And, if you want to change it up, that's why you're an artist, right? You want to show your different creative thought process and share it to the world. Good on you, buddy. We love you.
Good on you, buddy.
Not everyone will agree with your thought process,
your vision, but some people may not. You could have newer fans that have never even heard the original version too. Right?
Exactly.
All right.
But like I said, it's not bad. I prefer the other one, but hey,
I know it's fun to mix it up every once in a while and test.
It's all about being creative.
And sometimes in concert he does different versions as well, so you never know, right? So, Anyways, we are at an hour and 27 minutes.
Would you like to do top 3?
Sure. Oh,
I don't know why I said it like that. Sorry. Top 3.
Can we do top 3 or do you want me to look at my little listening party list first?
Okay.
We'll do this really quick. We're not gonna. So these were the songs that were originally shared. And where is it? Here it is. I don't know if you can even read it. You might not be able to read it from this because it's smaller.
I definitely cannot read it.
So basically Made for Us was on there. So they didn't play any of the songs that he had already released. So even though it was on this list, Made for Us, I gave it a 10. Never Break My Heart, Not Again. So the other ones that he did not perform, but that were written on this list was Other Side of Love Outlaw, Superman, Hurts to Love You, Broken Hearts Club, Hey Kid. Okay, so those are the ones that were on the list, but we never actually got to listen to. So for the songs that we got to listen to, Nothing Without Your Love. Is that on the album?
Yes.
So I gave it a 7.5, I think, or an 8.
Yeah, Nothing Without Your Love, number 2 on the album.
Okay. The second one that he did was called I Tried, so that is not on the album.
Not on the album.
It was a kind of country-ish. I gave that one like a 9. An 8.5, 9. So I like country
go
music.
With the other songs, so that's probably why he didn't.
I'm pretty sure nobody else liked the country stuff. The third song he did was Phantoms.
That's not.
I gave that one a 6. I don't know. The second one, the fourth one is Don't Let Go. And then I wrote for kids in brackets. So I guess I already knew that this was for kids. And I totally forgot about it. I gave that one a 7. Dirty Laundry, I gave a 6 because I was like, I've heard it too many times. I wanted new music, but he still does a good job. Then number 6 was Storms, which is on the album. I gave that one a 9. So there you go. That one made it on the album. Mm-hmm. Number 7 was I'll Take You With Me.
That's not on the album.
That is not on the album. And I gave that song a 10. So apparently I really enjoyed this song. I don't know. Okay, great. Well, we'll never hear it again. Number 8 was Just Like You Like It.
It's not on the album.
Yeah, it's not on the album. I gave that one.
I feel like you may have heard it on an Instagram Live or Instagram.
Like I feel like I've heard that before. Anyways, that one was 8. And then number 9 was Not Another Boy Band Song. I said it was a weird one. I put in brackets. I gave that one a 7. That one did not come on. I feel like that one was a bit weird. It was just like, but I still gave it a 7. So there you go.
Okay.
So the one that I gave the lowest mark to was Dirty Laundry. I gave it a 6 and it still made it on the album. So obviously.
So maybe he took the averages of other fans. Maybe they liked it.
I feel like my scores are a little bit different than everybody else's, but yes. So, because
maybe he took it into consideration, but
I don't even think
I don't care. I'm putting this on the album.
Yeah, it was really funny. Okay, so top 3. Do you have your top 3?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Here are my top 3. My number 1, always Made for Us. That is always going to be number 1. Number 2 is Searchlights. Okay. I really like that one. Number 3 is Hurts to Love You. It's such a beautiful, sad song, but I really like it. Nick sings very well in it. And then I put honorable mention because it's hard. There were some good songs.
There were some good songs.
So honorable mention to Hey Kid, Never Break My Heart, Not Again. And both versions of Cold Nights. Cold Nights was really good. So basically the whole album is great.
It's a great album. I also chose Made for Us because obviously I freaking love that song and listened to it a long time. I also, obviously Hurts to Love You, even though it hurts to listen to the song because it makes me so sad. And then I starred Nothing Without Your Love.
Nice.
Interesting. So I thought that. And then honorable mention to Easy because I feel like that's a good song.
Yes.
I don't know. They're all kind of good songs. And I guess Cold Night Winter Mix has kind of a good vibe to it. So
great album. Great album. Really good songs on the album. Love it. I'm glad that we were able to hear most of these in concert or some of these in concert.
Yes, definitely.
And hear most of these before going on the album. Hopefully in the future we can have a physical copy because it's always nice.
It's nice to have something, but I don't know. As of right now,
also it's always good to read the thank yous in a booklet. So maybe Nick, maybe you can do that somehow.
Yes. So yeah. So so then I just had I'm not going to care about that interview, but if you want to find out a little bit more, you can go to nickcarter.com. And then it just kind of talks about the album here. It says that Love, Life, Tragedy is a raw, reflective collection of pop rock anthems, heartfelt ballads, capturing the highs and heartbreaks of the life lived in the spotlight. With tracks like Storms, Cold Night, and Hurts to Love You, the album dives deep and comes back stronger. Created alongside powerhouse producers and longtime collaborators, Love, Life, Tragedy is more than just an album. It's a journey. It's a powerful reflection of Nick's journey through the highs and lows of life. This storied collection of songs, which Carter dedicates to fans around the world, presents an authentic, vulnerable view of the evolution between an artist and a human being. It leads the listeners through an emotional journey by combining upbeat tracks like Easy and Dirty Laundry with slower songs such as Cold Night and Don't Let Go. The emotional peak of the album arrives with Storms, a moving ballad about facing life's biggest challenges while maintaining a message of hope. I'm going to make it. And hope is the through line of Carter's Love, Life, Tragedy album. So together all may claim I'm going to make it. Alongside the new album, Nick released an episode 1 of a 6-episode comic book. Hurts to Love You got our main character, and it talks about that. So yes, so there's going to be 6 of those. We've had 2 of them so far. So check out Nick's Facebook page, socials and YouTube page to get that. So yeah.
Yes. Oh, no, and then Nick, the other day on his Instagram, thanked all of the fans on getting his album to #1 worldwide.
Oh, right. Yes.
And he shared that on Instagram. Good job, Nick. We're so proud of you.
Yes. So here is his Instagram. So it was #1 worldwide. It was #1 top pop albums in the US, #4 top albums in the US, #1 in Canada, obviously.
Canada loves ya. We know that.
Canada loves our Nick Carter.
Yes, we do.
#1 in the Netherlands, #2 in Belgium, #2 in New Zealand, #3 in Germany, #4 in Mexico, and #5 in Italy. And he wrote, I truly didn't expect this. I just want to say how deeply grateful I am. I love you all more than words can express. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening. And then Angel
wrote something very nice as well on her Instagram story.
So
her Instagram.
On her Instagram, yep. So it says, I'm so proud of my big brother, Nick Carter. This album is so beautiful, and I understand it in such a deep, personal way. Growing up in our family, there's a feeling that you never really shake. And Nick has always had this gift of turning that feeling into music. His passion for creating and connecting with his fans, and I know how healing this album has been for him. He's poured his grief into his purpose and his art, and it shows. What I love the most is seeing his love for Lauren, his children, and our family. That love is all over the album. I'm just so proud and honored to call you my brother. Heart. And then Nick responded, love you, sis. So isn't that nice? So
yes, I thought that's a nice way to end the album review with a really good fanfare, and then his sister, because we watched the documentary and it was cathartic for him. This album got him through a lot of things. So this is a nice way to put it in a bow, really.
For sure. Definitely. So yes, so Nick Carter, Love, Life, and Tragedy is out now. So go check that out. Only
but
online.
Don't go to the store because you will be sad. Go to Spotify and iTunes and wherever else you get music.
Wherever you listen to music online. So yes, so there you go. All right. Well, thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening. Bye.